He carved his name into my $900 TV with a pocket knife. He screamed into my ear so hard I still can't hear right. And when he was done destroying my house, he grabbed my dog by the tail and yanked until she screamed too. He is 11 years old, and when I finally banned him from my home for good, it was not his mother who exploded at me, it was his aunt, calling me a monster for protecting my own house. By the end of this story, you are going to be asking yourself the same question thousands of people on Reddit are still arguing about. Was I the judge for kicking out an 11-year-old from my own home, or was I the only adult in the room who finally said enough? Stick around because this family gathering was supposed to be a birthday party. It turned into a war zone, and I promise you the ending is not what you expect. Let's get into it. My name does not matter for this story, so let's just call me a host because that's exactly the role I got stuck playing. I took an entire weekend off work, my actual paid time off, the kind you are supposed to save for vacation, just to throw a birthday party for my mother-in-law. She lives with me and my husband, and honestly, she is one of the kindest, gentle person I have ever met in my life. She deserves a perfect day. What I did not plan for was that my sister-in-law would show up with her son, an 11-year-old boy who within about 20 minutes would turn my house into a crime scene. See, my sister-in-law is big into gentle parenting. Now, gentle parenting done right is actually a beautiful thing, but to her, gentle parenting means one thing and one thing only: never ever discipline his child. No consequences, no boundaries, no. And I want you to remember that phrase because it is the whole reason everything that happened next was even possible. Started small. It always starts small. The kid's favorite game apparently was creeping up behind unsuspecting adults and screaming directly into their ears as loud as his uncle would allow. Not a jump scare giggle, a full ear splitting shark, point blank range. He got me direct hit right ear. The ringing did not stop for hours. It still is not completely right. There is a real chance I have a permanent hearing damage from an 11-year-old idea of a joke. And what did he do? After nearly rupturing my eardrum, he walked away laughing like he had just pulled off the funniest prank in human history. I looked over at his mother. She was standing right there. She saw the whole thing. She did not say a single word. That's the moment I should have known this party was going to go sideways. But I bit my tongue because it was my mother-in-law's birthday, not mine. I told myself, let it go, don't make a scene. I had no idea how much worse it was about to get. If you have ever hosted a big family dinner, you know the panic of realizing something's gone wrong with the food right before you serve it. We were prepping mashed potatoes for probably 15 people, big pot, hours of work, the whole thing at some point while nobody was watching. This kid dumped what had to be half a container of salt straight into the pot. We had not found out until we served it. One bite in and half of the table was gagging. The potatoes were completely ruined, wasted, gone, hours of prep down the drain because a child decided it would be funny to sabotage his own family's dinner. And when we figured out what happened, he thought it was hilarious. Not embarrassed, not sorry, hilarious. At this point, I was doing everything I could to keep smiling for my mother-in-law's sake, but something in me was already starting to crack. At the worst part, he had not even gotten to the TV yet. Here's what it stopped being kids will be kids and start being something else entirely. At some point during the party, the boy got his hand on his own pocket knife. An 11-year-old with a knife unsupervised in someone else's house and used to carve his name into the screen of our game room TV. A $900 television completely destroyed, not scratched, carved deep enough that there is no fixing, no repairing it, nothing to do but replace the whole thing. And when we discovered it, guess what he did? He laughed. Like, no, oh no, I'm sorry, not even fear of getting caught, just laugh. But laugh like destroying someone else's property with a knife was a punchline. I want to be very clear here. I could replace the TV. A new one was already on its way within the day. Money was not really the issue, it was the principle. This child had zero concept, zero that other people's think, other people's bodies and other people's home actually matter. And unfortunately, what came next made that crystal clear. Before we go further, I need to give you a heads up because what happened in the next part of this story involve an animal getting hurt. If that's something you had rather skip, this is your moment, but I would encourage you to stay because it is the moment that changes everything. Because up until now, this was a story about a badly behaved kid during a birthday party. What happened next made it something much darker. My dog is the sweetest animal on the planet. She's small, she's gentle, and she trusts everyone, which that day turned out to be a problem. At some point, this boy decided it would be fun to chase her around the house. Dogs get chased by kids all the time. Usually it's harmless. Usually it's a game that dog even enjoys. This was not that. When he finally cornered her and caught her, he did not pet her, he did not play with her, he grabbed her tail and yanked. She screamed a real pain. And what did he do? He ran off laughing. We rushed her to the vet immediately. Thank God, the vet confirmed there was no permanent damage. She's okay, but I will never forget the sound she made. Because here is the thing that scared me more than the TV, more than the potatoes, more than my ringing ear. What kind of child finds joy in hurting someone, something that trusts him completely? I looked at this 11-year-old boy, and for the first time, I did not just think spoiled. I thought something much heavier. I thought, who is this child going to become? Here's where you had expect me to blow up, scream, kick them out mid-party, ruin the day. I did not. My mother-in-law, the woman this entire day was for, is one of the biggest people, best person alive. I was not going to let her birthday turn into a screaming match, so I swallowed everything. Every single thing that had happened that day. I let them stay until the party ended, smiled through the cake, and said goodbye at the door like everything was fine. But it was not fine, and once everyone was gone, once the house was quiet, I sat down and I made a decision. I was not going to post about in the family group chat. I was not going to embarrass anyone publicly. I opened a private message, just her and me, and I told my sister-in-law exactly where I stood. I told her I was not going to tell her how to raise her child. That's her choice, her child, her house. But my house is a different story. And until her son learned how to behave like a functioning member of society, no knives, no screaming, no hurting animal, no destroying property, he was not welcome back in mine. I hit send and I thought that would be the end of it. I was wrong. Within minutes, my phone was lighting up. My sister-in-law did not apologize. She did not acknowledge the TV, the door, and my ear. Instead, she called me every name in the book and told me I was causing drama in the family over nothing. Over nothing. I want you to sit with that for a second. A television destroyed with a knife, a dog yanked hard enough to need a vet, my hearing possibly damaged for life, and in her ears, in her eyes, that's nothing, that's drama. And here's what really got me. I had not said a single word of this in front of the family. I had not posted it anywhere public. I sent one private message, adult to adult, mother to sister-in-law, calmly explaining a boundary. Somehow, setting that boundary quietly was the thing that made me the villain. So here is where I am at. I love my in-laws. My mother-in-law is one of the best people I have ever met, and I never want to hurt her. But I can't keep pretending that what happened at that party was normal or fine or nothing. I have heard every argument you can imagine. He's just a kid. Gentle parenting does not mean no boundaries. You are exaggerating. You should have said something in the moment instead of waiting. Maybe some of that's fair, but somebody in the comment of the original post said something that stuck with me. They have raised 13 kids of their own. Not one of them ever behaved like this. 13 kids, zero knife in TVs, zero dogs getting hurt, zero screaming directly into ground adults ear for a fun. So I have to ask you the same question I have been asking myself since that weekend. Was I wrong to ban a 11-year-old from my house, or was I the only person at that party willing to say the word nobody else could? If you like the story, please hit subscribe and like, and because we have got dozen more real life family dramas just like this one coming your way. And if you want to hear the twist ending of what happened when this family saw each other again in Thanksgiving, that story is coming next. Bye bye, tata.